Ready? 3, 2, 1. Guys, welcome officially to our first webinar outside or post the marketing marathon for 2023. So again, guys, look, these are free. They're any one of you personal trainers that are inside the business community group for the educational community group for personal trainers. Been a while since I've said that group. These are free. Come along. We want to welcome some new members to our community. So everybody give a quick wave. Welcome everyone into our new little community here. So we've got Paddy, we've got Georgie, we've got Dale, we've got Patrick, we've got Brad, we've got Pete, we've got Cara, we've got Andrew, Josh, Will, Wes, Lee, and Tash, and Says. Guys, come along. Like, we don't bite here. We have great topics, of which today is going to be a fire topic about getting quick wins, kickstarting the new year with quick growth for your businesses so that the year becomes a win. So come, basically, let's get stuck in. So first and foremost, I just mentioned there, guys, to those of you who jumped on board, I've had a couple questions about taking personal training sessions, and Damien put some stuff on that as well. What I think I'm going to do is next week's topic of conversation. We're going to talk about the structure of PT sessions. We're going to do this for Damien. We'll get to yours in a second, because that's what we're going to do the week after. It's only because of new people that are not as educated as yourself. So basically, we're going to do the structure of PT sessions and how to actually use 30-minute sessions, but use what you're offering people, right, as a package to maximize results and also in retention. So there's a lot of questions that we always have around, do I need to provide training programs? If so, I'm spending years and years and years a week putting these fucking things together, which people then don't use. But then I recommend people that we use half-hour sessions, whereas realistically, I don't limit us to half-hour sessions. The way in which, and I'll say this now to you guys, we'll expand on it next week, we sell half-an-hour blocks, right? Or with a gold package, it's a block of an hour and a half, and a silver is a block of an hour. You therefore can take someone through 2 45-minute sessions per week, would just simply be a gold package, right? But the way in which we price the gold, or we display it on our tangible products, is 3 times 30-minute sessions, because it looks and comes across more affordable. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah, if it does, a few thumbs up. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that next week, actually how to take the sessions, because a few new guys that have got, and these are the guys that really need this kickstart and the quick win, which we'll talk about today, they need that. But then Damien, you mentioned about back end and what, again, a lot more advanced trainers like yourself, fully booked, looking to leverage, hiring staff, where there's a lot of you guys doing that. So Ash, this will be one for you too. Again, great to have you here, Ash. Damien, talk a little bit more about what you want to see, therefore, in the week after, and I'll do that one for you for sure.
Yeah, totally. So I guess like taking the sessions, like to me, is like that front end, and it's what we've been doing our whole career. But when it comes to like leveraging and growing the business, obviously all that is done in the back end of things, right? And myself, and as a business owner, we have all these ideas, we have all these documents and programming and just presentations, but how do we make it flow? Because at times I feel like I don't know where it all fits in. I don't know the flow of things sometimes. I don't know how to make my business efficient. I have all the tools there, have all the resources, but I don't know how to effectively use it. So I feel like even at times, like I'm spending more time doing things than I should. I'm not being as productive. Again, my front end stuff, training clients and working with them, like I've been doing this 13 years, so very confident with all that kind of stuff. And I know not everyone's there. But yeah, in order for our business to sort of grow, it's always looking to develop those back end systems. So I'm really, wanting to sort of see that like more firsthand, because it's all there, but definitely more of a visual learner there. So if we go through some of those things, it gives me a better idea and can help me, definitely execute on the back end better.
Yeah, I love that, brother. And I think, dude, it's something I think of which we will discuss one-on-one, but it's probably something that's really key from just holding us back from executing that bit quicker, right? And getting the quick win with like our trainer and our leverage, right? And this, I really get you, and I really value what you've said, and I want to deliver that one for you. Reason why is because today's about quick wins, and guys, everyone would rather grow. I don't care what anyone says realistically, right? So everyone's different, but most people want to work and grow their businesses quicker rather than slower. I would say it's more favorable. So dude, if it's going to help us fast track, and I think there's a lot of people that will be able to share light. You know, people like Jack, like Nathan, like Michael, like Tane, like Charmaine here, anyone here who's got trainers or in leverageable positions and who's got experience, like Ash here, again, really good to see you live, brother, as well. Mass amounts of experience, like really solidified good life trainers, which Ash is as well. Ash and Damien both in the good life. Back-end systems and stuff like that, you guys, I think, can bounce off each other really well. So we'll deliver that. And I'll be honest, I don't really have much content on that. And it's something that I don't really have. It's one of very few things I don't have much content on. And it's because I like to give you guys the freedom to do it. You ask me the questions and I'll recommend. But because everyone has their own ways of which they do things, it'll be a really good one. So I'm happy with that. So next 2 topics for the seminars, guys: how to maximize 30-minute sessions and how you need to be delivering to get best retention and results for trainers and what you need to offer outside them and inside them. But then we're going to work on back-end systems and how to smoothly deliver your products and your training, but also manage the other day-to-days of the business, which can be quite hard to do, to enable bigger things to happen. Happy? Cool. All right, let's talk about wins. I'll tell you what, before we do start, we will do Q&A. I want to do Q&A first. Any questions about anything? Obviously, there was some good stuff there from Damien. Anyone got questions about anything at all? Before, actually, normally we have these topics voted for in polls. Has anyone never seen the voting poll inside the business educational community for personal trainers? Tash, if you haven't seen it, it's because you came on board at the end of last year in the middle of the marketing marathon. So the business educational community for personal trainers is our main go-to group. This is where this was advertised today. In there, we do polls. Anybody else not seen them? But Tash, that's fine. Basically, we do polls, guys. Again, your input is everything. I will give and deliver any single thing that I'm asked to do, right? But what I've said you many a times before, without communicating, I'm not a mind reader. So that's why, Damien, what you've said there, thank you, because it means we can now delve into that shit, and it will be a very, 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 very valuable lesson to everyone. So with that, normally we vote on that poll. Just put that in there. We're not going to do a poll, all right, for the next couple of weeks, because they are the 2 topics. But when you've got stuff that you want discussed in detail, the polls, everything, but also ask me on Voxer, hey, Si, have you got anyone else who's going through this, or anyone else going through this, and can we do this? Ask me. I can't mind read the volume of people that we're working with now. And look, but what I can do is deliver the value on it, and it's that simple. So yes, that's that. Q&A about anything at all. Again, communication, guys. I've made a very, very, very big point about this at the start of this year, and that's the way we're going to continue. Anything that anyone needs at all.
Yeah, I've got a question, Simon.
Nice, Ash. Yeah, what we got?
Just want to ask a question about lead gen. Like, I've been a good life. I've been here now for probably 4 years.
Yeah.
In that time, I've had a lot of trainers go.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worthy of actually getting in contact with these trainers and asking them for referrals for their old clients and getting them to get in contact with them and offering them maybe $100 for every person who signs up?
That's a very interesting point.
Or something similar.
That's a very, very interesting point. Hell, you could, but at the same time, what I'd be thinking of is why? So we're pretty booked, right?
Yes.
Yes. We know where we need to focus next, right? Leverage is where we need to go. I personally, again, this isn't me and Ash one-on-one here, so it's a group format. So we're not going to delve too in depth with what we're doing, but we're looking at leverage. Focus on that. Once you've got that, the answer then, this is when I'd say we'd entertain this. Why not? Hell yeah. There's no point, brother, why we shouldn't or why we couldn't. 100%. I've never heard anyone say that before. But what I would just say is, or be careful or be wary of, is not that you would give a shit about it, but think about how that trainer might look at you. Oh, this guy's desperate. You know, this guy's desperate for clients. He's asking me for my old clients and he's paying me for them. When realistically, Ash is the most successful Good Life trainer in that location of the last 4 years, and is probably, well, and I know is doing better than anybody else there. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I just think about what people may think of you, but as I've told you many a times, guys, never care about what anyone thinks about you. Just take action. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that helps a bit, Ash. But has anyone else ever had that? I think Charmaine, or not Charmaine, Ems would be awesome if she was here, because Ems has been given a lot of clients recently by old PTs. So she might be able to shine light on that. But I think the nature in which that happened, Ash, is that a trainer left fresh, and then the trainer's clients are there and they're instantly passed over, rather than you're talking about old past trainers, right? And contacting them. Dude, if you've got great relationships with them, bro, go for it. But you're not obviously going to contact a random PT who had like 2 sessions and say, hey, bro, you know those 2 sessions that you were doing? Can I have the details of that lead? Does that help a bit, Ash? And shine a bit more light on it before you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I go along with most of the trainers. Most of them are gone now and doing placement or something completely different. And I know there's a few of their clients in the gym still. I just thought that might be a really hot lead, and it's worth throwing $100 at the trainer just to say, if you get in contact with them and they refer on and they train, $100 is yours. Thought it'd be in my nice, easy way.
Yeah, and definitely you can. Like, does anyone else here incentivize people for referrals? I mean, we do a referral power strategy, but Nath and Tash, Nath, you got some input, and Tash on that?
With the staff at the Derrimut gym, because they don't give you the data or anything like that, just their deals, I just say, hey, if you refer anyone my way and they sign up, I throw you $50.
Yeah, that's another great way. With Derrimut, we have to handle things like that. But also at Good Life, it's probably the most similar gym to a Derrimut where that might work as well. So, for example, actually, if you're not getting kickstarts now because you're the most solidified trainer there, you know, you're not getting as many leads come through the gym. And I might only expect that this may be why you're thinking of going this route, because maybe lead flow is low. Is that right?
No, not so much. I don't really take too many of the leads on. A lot of them go to the brand new PTs. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, look, it's one of those ones, incentivizing staff. Like, you can definitely do that, and as long as it's not like looks like you're bribing them. Like, I had one client think like, dude, I'm not going to bribe people. It's not a bribe. It's just an incentivized, bonus for people.
Hey, Simon, just to add something to that.
Yeah.
I was actually just listening to it yesterday. It was like a Gary V, his story when he started with like winelibrary.com, if you understand.
Yes, I do.
Where he started. So he brought up a point, and I was only listening to this yesterday, and it sort of has to do with this, is he always said when he first started on the internet and advertising to people with wine, he goes, I didn't target people who weren't drinking wine and trying to get them to drink wine. He goes, I put all my resources into the people who were already purchasing wine. And I think like when a lot of people like market, is they're potentially marketing the people who, like if we use the wine analogy, who aren't drinking wine or who aren't PTing. So I think there is probably something there actually, because these people, if they were with a personal trainer, have purchased personal training, they see the value in it. And they might have stopped because the trainers left and they've fallen off the wagon. But yeah, if you can definitely re-engage with these people, they're already converted people. They're people who see the value in PT. So I definitely would say there would be a high quality lead. So yeah, if you can get those name and numbers, refer it get a referral somehow, could be a good avenue for leads.
I fully agree. And Gary V does very well using that wine business of his. I love how he restructured the store when he took over it. You know his story, I'm guessing. You know his story, right? When he reorganized the whole store. You know what I'm talking about. It's really, really cool. Definitely. So this is the thing, Ash. They have bought before. They have purchased. They've worked with the PT. My head is screaming at me. The toxic nature of some PTs, though, would be like, no, you're not good at that because I don't want to see anyone else succeed. And why are you calling me asking for my leads? Like, I'm not joking, bro. But if you know the PTs well, go for it. Like, definitely. And then again, it's not a bribe. You incentivize. You just say, look, we're here. We're still here. We're just trying to help as many people as possible. And that's the message that you want to get across. And that's what we're all driven by. It's helping people, right, at scale. And yeah, 100%. So therefore, I think it's a very good, valid point, and highlighted by what Damien's got to add on there. So hopefully that helps, Ash. Go for it, man. But always forefront of our focus right now, bro, is trainer. And again, anything you need answering with that stuff, we just communicate. Ask the person while they refer the person to you if they want to work for you. There you go. Like, if they're not working for Good Life anymore, then they can come and work for you too, and bring their client back with them. But yeah, that's that. Questions? Anyone else?
Got a quick one for you. This is kind of a bit left ball. I obviously just re-signed my contract because I've obviously gone from staff PT to rental PT. Good question that they actually had in our contract was based on, like, if we leave, we obviously have to hand our clients back, etc. But they're talking about intellectual property as far as all of our programming and everything is that we then have to surrender back to them to then pass on to the new trainer, that whoever they end up being with. What's your thought on that?
Okay, first and foremost, are they hiring another employee-based trainer?
No, they're trying to get a lot of staff trainers because they're not going to do subcontractors. But in the contract itself, it stated anything that I've worked on as far as programming that I've done is technically, it's kind of, they've put it into as their intellectual property.
Okay. Why did they want the program back though? So that they could give it to?
I don't know. Apparently it's apparently been put into, if I, for whatever reason, I leave.
Okay.
Then it's basically, obviously if I leave, I can't take clients with me, which is fine. I'd give a breakdown of what that client's worked with, but now they've actually had in there that anything intellectual. So I've done a lot of programming outside hours and that sort of thing I've used with clients that they now claim is theirs. And if I potentially leave, that I now, so I've done a lot of back end work as far as creating my own programs and stuff like that. But now they're in the contract, it's stated that it's basically theirs.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You just copy the program and put it on your own intellectual property template. That's all. Well,
it's always been on mine. It's never been on in any time backing, nothing like that. But they're now saying that they're wanting.
Well, here's the thing. Look, here's the thing, Tash. We're starting from scratch now. We use our own templates. Do you know what I mean? We build it from scratch. Give them all of those programs back, but just have your own ones ready to go. At the end of the day, they can't intellectually property protect your program that you created just because it's on an Anytime Fitness template or a letterhead which says anytime.
Wait, well, none of them I've created has actually had any time written on it.
So that's rubbish then. That's not intellectual.
It was just really interesting because I've done a lot of stuff I've built up. But yeah, like I said, it's part of the conditions if I leave, say, my location, I went somewhere else, for example.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if any other trainers had that in their contracts or what's. Yeah, it just seemed really odd considering. Yeah.
I didn't have that in particular in my contract, but I took my contract to a lawyer and went over it with them. And they said that the state of a lot of those gym contracts, that a lot of it won't uphold. A lot of the stuff won't hold up if you were to ever to fight it, but they'll put it in there for the sheer fact of they can ask you and then you're like, oh, I'm contractually obliged. And then most people won't go to the length of actually making it difficult. So yeah, like Simon said, I'd be surprised if they were actually able to uphold that, especially if you've created it all on your own time. Yeah, and they have to be able to know what you have exactly as well.
So that was so I mean, a lot of that stuff I've done. Yeah.
So let me just get this straight. A program that you've created, which is
Mm-hmm.
not on an anytime letterhead or
Mhm.
anything like that, they're trying to sell intellectual property.
Correct.
I don't know why Jim would ever do that, other than them trying to be a pain in your fucking ass.
Mm.
Right? Like there's no, like, you created that, so just all right, just say, okay, there's your program, right? I'm just going to create it again, but this time you just stamp your logo on it. I
Yeah,
think
that's what I've done. But yeah, it was just really interesting was that came into it. And I'm thinking, hang on a second, there's a lot of stuff I've grown with, but yeah, nothing I've given them at all, apart from using the Anytime Workouts app. Nothing I've given them has had, as far as programming wise or nutrition wise or anything like that, has actually got Anytime logos on it.
Is it delivered via an app of theirs, is it, or anything, or?
Yeah, so a lot of the programming I've had to do is using the Anytime app, which basically is their branding of Trainerize. So they've basically had so it was basically created through that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, there's a lot of stuff I've done outside of that doesn't have anything to do with that. Yeah, I'm correct. Yeah.
Like Tane said, like, I've been through many legal battles. I will go through many more. Like,
yeah,
I'm not joking. I've never, I've never ever seen any of my clients, Jack there with his thumbs up, has been through one where it's a threat. It's a bottomless threat, and that's all it is. Like this stuff, though, what it does scare people a little bit.
It does, yeah.
Right, and because it's a contract, right? But here's the thing: I've never had any personal trainer that's worked with me, and this is gospel truth, that has ever broken a contract, ever be taken to court, has ever been sued, or has ever had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Anytime's or Good Life's money spent going after a PT because of something so pathetic, right? So, and I mean that with all due respect, like, not saying the programs are pathetic. It's not. It's just like, why would they even do that? Like, you created the program, so I wouldn't worry, honestly. And I mean, look, unless you're playing like big scale with anything in life, like, if, for example, so this is something else, and a few people might want to take away. If you ever have a contract with a client, and they're worth, like, it's like $150 worth of debt or $100, just move on. It's really not worth it. Like, you've got to do, obviously your direct debit provider will go after and try and collect the debt, but unless you're talking tens of thousands of dollars worth, like where some of my clients' contracts are, like, it's really not important to go and look after going after and settling disputes legally, because it's not worth the money. Like, it costs thousands of dollars of lawyer fees, and they will never do it. This is why, if anyone ever threatens you and says, look, you know, if you want to leave this gym, and Good Lives have their 6-month notice or 3-month notice periods, like, it's a load of absolute BS. They're just trying to con you into giving them another $3,000 worth of rent. So just say politely, see you later, and watch. Nothing will ever happen. So, and the same thing with your contracts is not even that bad. That's even less of a case. So yeah, hopefully that answers and gives you a bit of confidence. But anything you need on that front, Tash, because I know it can be quite daunting, and the contract stuff, I speak about it a lot with people personally. I think it's really good we've spoken about it in an open forum for once, but just message me if you need any questions.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you have to use their app to deliver the training to them, or can you use your own branded app?
Well, that's the thing, is I'm actually looking into that at the moment. That's the reason I've had so many issues with the app being Trainerized anyway. So if I go another app down the track, I won't ever use Trainerized, because we've had so many dramas with it that it's basically the app doesn't work anywhere near what it should be. But a lot of the other stuff I've done on like spreadsheets and stuff like that. I've only ever used Trainerize or Anytime Workout is basically as imagery next to an exercise, for example. When I used to do the challenges and stuff, which I used to run, I had to use the app for that. But apart from that, I'd create everything externally from a spreadsheet component. but yeah, because I mean, I used to use when there was no issues with the app. It would normally, if I was putting a program through, a client would be able to run through the program, edit, and I'd get all the details back from that session. That app hasn't been working that feature for good over 18 months. So I've basically given up using that, but I'm looking at another option that I can potentially use similar. But yeah, I've just got away from it because it's been so unreliable for so long. But yeah, that's that. I mean, and if anyone's got any ideas as far as something similar that's not related to any time that I could potentially use, yeah.
Look, I think personally the best thing to do is documented types of programs and just put everything in a drive.
Yeah.
Everyone will always pick at something with an app. Personally, I think Trainerize is flawless. However, I think Trainerize is better suited to online trainers than it is face-to-face.
Yeah.
Like with my online coach, like Trainerize is flawless. But that if you're trying to execute a workout in person and log that workout on a phone while you're doing it, which I don't recommend anyone doing anyway. I think, again, we'll talk about this when we talk about the training session structure next week. All of you guys should be able to pretty much freestyle good personal training sessions and just make notes in your PT session log of what was covered in the session. You don't need to log that you did 5 sets of 10, 8, 6, 5, 4 of deadlifts. You don't need to, like, it depends on how elite you want your shit to be. But again, half an hour training model, you ain't got time for that stuff. Even if you're doing that stuff with, an hour-long sessions, it's all down to you guys and what you want to use. But documented sessions in like a Google Drive. We'll elaborate on it next week. It's a good point. Bring it up again next week. Any other questions, guys? Anything at all? All right, cool. This is not going to take long, but I want to elaborate on a Grant Cardone seminar that I attended last week. Anyone here not heard of Grant Cardone? Are you fucking kidding me, Charmaine, that you haven't heard of Grant Cardone?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you.
That's only aimed at Charmaine as well, by the way. Like, are you kidding me? You haven't heard of Grant Cardone? Okay, so Gary V, right? So Damien mentioned Gary V. Anyone not heard of Gary V before? Okay, Tash and Tam. That's Tammy. Yeah, Tam. Ish, Michael. Gary V's a beast. Really, really good. Grant Cardone is a very anyone in America not heard of Grant Cardone, you've been living under a rock. But like Grant Cardone basically.
Cardone, as in with a C? Or...
Yes. Yeah, Cardone Capital is one of his companies, or Grant Cardone University. He offers lots of courses on like business startups, like how to do business startups, but not specific to any niche. So I attended a webinar. I have access to his Cardone University. He also, this is really good, guys. If you want reading material or watching material, have you seen his 10X conferences? Ryan Cam in the US, have you seen his 10X conferences he does? And has anyone else seen 10X conferences that he does? This is well worth like buying. So you can actually buy, so they do these conferences, right, where they get guest speakers, and basically that they've had like Floyd Mayweather on there, they've had Kevin Hart, they've had John Travolta, they've had tons of really, really like successful people. Magic Johnson, awesome one. But basically I have access to that university. There was a webinar I did recently, and he talks about really key fundamentals when starting a business. And I wanted to kickstart this year for the first webinar that's live for the business educational community for PTs, now that we have ceased Marketing Marathon, and talk about this point he makes about quick wins. Now, he mentions a lot that money loves speed. And this is a real good, really good point. I never mention it because a lot of people don't like talking about it. And it seems very arrogant that people say that money loves speed, so you got to work fast for money. It's the way that it can come across. But quick wins is what he talked about, and that it's really important that each and every single one of us this year set the tone for our business by getting a quick win. So anyone here signed up any clients this year so far? Yeah, there we go. People that haven't, that's an example of a quick win for us, right? Quick win. Now, when we win, we compound it with other wins, right? And this is another thing I want to talk about is communication. Again, it's because it's the start of the year, right? I want to talk about communication. When you make a quick win, right, communicate that quick win with me so that I can compound it with more positivity, which then therefore will bring more quick wins. Does everyone follow where I'm going with this? It's really basic stuff, guys, but again, it's just a really good motivational topic for the whole community. Now, the start of a year, the first win you're going to get realistically is a sign up of a new client. What we need to do, if you've been working with me only for the last month or so, which has been a really frantic period, so like Tanya, Tash, Cam, always good to see you, Cam, as well, brother. Then who else? We've got Ray here, and we've got, you know, Will, you're new as well. You guys, we are chasing quick wins, right? We've got to make it quick. There's a lot of people here that, you know who you are as well, that might have dropped the ball, right? Or might not have executed on 2022 as much as you wanted to. Start this year, and a lot of clients are already doing this. Their communication's so much better. They're starting with a quick win with communication. Their communication's better. Is there any examples of a win that anyone has had besides signing up clients this year, and they found that it's given them any form of like motivation to continue to win throughout this year? An example of a win anyone's had?
My training and nutrition's been on point.
Yeah, same here, brother. I share that. Yeah. I'm very, very proud of you for doing it, and I'm fucking proud of me too. Well done. What else we got? Damien, you got your hand up there?
I do. Well, I had a really good couple weeks off over Christmas.
Yeah.
And that was because of all the momentum bringing into the end of the year, which allowed me to switch off. So I haven't really done that in years. So I'm coming into this year fresh, rejuvenated, and just picking up where we left off because of such a good end of year last year. So that's good. That's a good one.
That's amazing. Anyone else? Positive talk here now, guys. Let's pick me up. It's positive times. I want to talk about
one of my fighters got told he could potentially be fighting for a title mid-year.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's win, literally, right? It's dope. I saw you had a good win with a client as well with their structured training 6 weeks out. They said the rep volume and everything perfect. So like again, wins, clients getting results. This should be happening daily for you types of guys, especially if you're taking a lot of sessions. Is that a hand I saw, Tam?
Yeah, a win is that I've spoken to all my clients that my PT was working with, and they are not leaving with him as he goes. They're staying with me.
That's good.
So
and that's
rub that in his face.
Yeah, there you go. Look, and that's the structure that we put in place, which enables that. They're loyal to you. That's a big win, right? Guys, the moral of the story is here. If you feel, and again, most people here, I know for a fact that we're winners, and people that work with me, we win. It's that simple. We do win. If you're searching for a win, communicate with me. And if you're watching a recording, it's mostly for the people who don't attend these webinars that are looking for the wins. One of your first wins could be to attend the webinar. It could be to watch the first training video that you haven't watched in the last 6 months, right? But whatever it is, it's important that we make a win, because when you make a win, which you think is so hard, right, and it actually happens. I always use the analogy to my British clients. I said this to these 3 guys. They're all pommies this morning. When I do early morning calls, it's because of the time difference. And every one of them jumped on board. I said this to them. It's like this. When we want quick wins, it's like a bottle of ketchup. When you tap it, and eventually it goes, and it comes out everywhere. You know, you hit a glass jar upside down and nothing comes. When you have quick wins, guys, it literally will give you icing on the cake, and it will reconfirm that what you are doing is fucking working. And watch the wins compound from there. And it is literally that simple. So for any of you guys who've been working with me for years and win daily, right, keep fucking winning. And for any single one of you guys that is new, right, keep your head up and you will chase that first win. When it happens as well, as long as you do not give up and you don't quit, you will always win, because the only way to failure is to stop. And there is, I bless Blade at the moment. Blade is not here because he's mentally drained. He won't mind me saying this, but Blade is this close. It's like Jack. I think Jack has left. I think he left. Yeah, he's left. I always use Jack as an example of someone who fucking sucked at sales for so long. And then when it clicked, Jack has built 2 6-figure businesses in 2 separate locations after leaving one who threatened to take him to court, like we were talking about with Tash, all that shit. He's been through the whole lot, right? The only reason why he is sat where he is now sat with his Tash, right, is the fact that he never gave up, right? He just didn't give up. So easy to give up, but you know what's easier, what sucks and what ends up being hard if you give up? It's the long-term repercussions that you'll have on your mental health and the lack of satisfaction, fulfillment in your life. And I'm not saying that any of you guys and anyone who's working with me is anywhere close to quitting. I'm just making this motivational, and that's all that my point is today. You want to chase a win, and with wins, communicate it, like Tane did, like Damien did, like Tammy did here. Share them, like Lockie did. Share them, compound them with other people. What makes me so fulfilled daily, guys, is when I see each and one of you comment on other clients of mine's posts, right? It really makes me warm inside knowing that you're there supporting each other. That's a prime example of compounding positivity with positivity and wins with wins. So that's what it is. It's that simple. Is there anything that anyone needs help with? That we've got nearly 20 people here that are fucking qualified enough to give good feedback on anything that they want to help with win-wise, right? I think everyone here is winning. There's people here who've had massive sign-ups, who've either had breakthroughs mentally. We're all winning. And again, the main thing is we're moving forward. But is there anything, again, finishing with the Q&A, like we started, that anyone here needs clarity with at all right? That you know you can come to me personally about, if you don't want to in a group format talk about it, at all, to help you win today?
Well, I've got another win for you that we've just had yesterday. No, you know, like I went around with the Evolve trying to find places to do scans, and I got offered the job.
Yes.
Like a month and a half ago. So I started off at the new gym, finishing up at the other one this week. Yeah. But new management gone to the gym that I've started at, and they're needing people to work. So now my wife just had a job interview there yesterday. So the two of us are going to be working at the gym together, and she's going to start on reception after 3 years of maternity leave. And then we'll start PT in there as well with her.
It's fucking sick. I'm glad. Well, I heard it first here. I heard it first here. We were obviously working on that, mate. That's fucking great news. That's a big win. You're getting to share your passion with your partner. Something else. I mean, Tash, you do too, right? And a lot of, I think I've got lots of clients that share passion and fitness with their partners. That's winning in life. That's big wins. So again, well done. Like, guys, take action. Yeah. So this is the thing. Without, like, if you want to make a win, you got to work. You got to take action. Sometimes as well. Sometimes it's going to fucking hurt to take action. Sometimes there'll be a lot of resistance. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's hiring trainers or making your first sign up, whatever. But if it ain't making you feel uncomfortable, then it ain't worth doing. So make sure that you just keep consistent. It's that simple. And that's how I wanted to start. This year. Yes, David.
All right. So one thing actually I'd like to ask the group, and I think this is going to be good, and it's sort of what I messaged you about yesterday a little bit. But I heard a saying from Jocko Willink yesterday, and he's like, hard work is hard, and I think all of us here, we're doing hard things. We're trying to grow business and help clients and do all these things. But for me, over the years, definitely like, when you are succeeding, sometimes it takes time, and you just got to keep doing the hard work. But I'm human like everyone, and in those moments where I just got to persevere and be patient is when sometimes negativity and the fear creeps in. So like, I know I have Simon, and that's why I sign up to courses like this and put myself around people like all of you on the call. to support me and push me through. But I'd love to hear, do other people experience the same thing? And what is something that someone's had success with to help keep pushing them through the fear and the negativity?
That's fucking good. Someone will have something here.
Yeah, bro. So, like, I've been through. So I got kicked out of the gym, and that when all the COVID stuff came through, and I don't know. I think knowing, it's like, it sounds simple, but it's not easy. But knowing why you're doing it and having enough belief in, like, no matter, to persevere through all the shit that you're going to get there. You know what I mean? Like, if you want it bad enough, shit can just crumble and fall, but it's like, well, fuck, what's the other option? Half the time, you know what I mean? It's like, what's the other option? Let it get to you. But then it's, like I said, it's simple, it's not easy, especially when all the chaotic sort of stuff's happening. But having that undying belief behind, like, why you're doing it and then where you want to go, that can sort of help persevere through that grind. It's helped me in the past persevere through that grind. Yeah,
for sure. Thank you.
It was a hard time as well for Tane, being kicked out of the gym and then having to wait 12 months before leveraging his business. Like, I'm not joking. Now leverage solid multiple six figures, doing amazing. Like, we literally waited a year. Getting tested all the time, right? So what are we going to talk about today, Tane? Because we know what we need to do. We just need to get a trainer, but we can't fucking find one, right? But we kept fucking going, and you keep going. And I say it to everyone, Nath, we've been round in circles for a while recently, and we fucking found one. There's a win for you, right? There's a win for Nath. So Nath gets a trainer, right? So these times will test you guys. It's so testing. But I always think about the harder the test, the more it's gonna fulfill you when you come out the other side. And yeah, I think that's a great example there of Tane's one. Like, you will be tested a hell of a lot. Hopefully as well with that, Damon, as well, we'll give you clarity in that call in 2 weeks today. We'll do that to do the back end stuff. That will give everyone a lot of clarity, that one. But yeah, clarity. That if any of you guys need clarity on anything, again, I'm here individually, but in this group format, that's a great question, and Tane, that's a good answer.
I think sharing it with, like, other trainers and that as well, like if you have trainers in your network or, around, like, people like us, or, just message it like the group format like we are here, or, messaging people individually and just be like, bro, like, I'm going through this. Like, you'll find a lot of people going through similar stuff, because it can feel lonely as fuck too. Like, you feel like it's just you going through this. So, like, connecting with other people that have either been there, been through similar situations to you, can, like, just making yourself not feel so isolated can help in that as well. Yeah.
I think there's one thing that enables me to have full confidence knowing that every single one of my clients is with the right coach. And it's not arrogance, it's just the experience. I've been there, done it, and got the t-shirt with every single fucking thing that you'll ever have done in the fitness industry, right? When people reach a scale where I can't help them, that's it. You welcome them with open arms, but you let them leave with open arms. And I do that all the time, right? But the thing is that, like Tane said, every single thing you are going through, chances are, Tammy, Ray, Ryan, Tash, Lockie, Cam, Ash, Michael, I could keep going. Chances are they've already been through it, they will go through it, or are currently going through it. This is, again, why communication, it doesn't have to be with me, although I freaking hope it should be, because I am your coach. But if you want to confide in each other, right, let me have a break and not have to show up to one of these webinars, and you can just chat to each other for once, right? But look, do you know what I mean? Guys, this is what warms me seeing, like, and it's Tane's, it's Phil's, it's Charmaine's, it's Nathan's, it's Ray's. You're always liking and commenting on each other's shit, and honestly, I can get emotional about it. It's awesome. It's amazing to see. You're all going through the same shit, but you're also all getting and panning and sieving through that shit to get the fucking golden nuggets, right? And it's all of us that are helping move that pan to remove the rubbish, yeah? So bounce off each other, yeah? And let's have all have an amazing year. I'm very, very proud of every one of you guys, but yeah, you're all going through it together. So please confide. Never think like ever, if you get to the point where you think you're the only person that's going through that shit, like, you know, you're not. And I'll finish with this if I can remember it rightly. There's a part on The Hangover, and I saw a little meme this morning where it was like, I think it's Chow. Does everyone knows little Chow on The Hangover, right? I think it was what's his name? Bradley Cooper goes, "I'm having a bad day," and Chow goes, "Oh, you're having a bad day?" And he goes, "Well, I got shot." And he goes, "Well, did you fucking die? Did you die?" And you didn't die. So keep going. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's hopefully something there that will pick you up and make you laugh. But I saw that and I thought it was pretty funny. You can get shot, but if it didn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So keep going. With that being said, guys, let's have a really good year. Anything that you guys need, hit me up on Voxer. I'm still yet to do Voxer runs because I've been on calls. And peace and love, homies. I'll speak to you soon. Ciao.